Thanks to folks like the MCU, cinematic shared universes are all the rage these days, with audience members eating it up faster and faster. Now, these franchises love to add links and references specifically to other films the director has worked on, or maybe even an upcoming sequel in the franchise. So today on Top 10 Beyond the Screen, I'm going to be counting down our list of the top 10 movies you won't believe are connected. Before we begin though, be sure to stick around until the end of the video where I'll be responding to some of your comments. And with that, let's jump in. Coming in at number 10, Spider-Man 2 and The Punisher. As we know, big franchises love to have fun and add links and references to other films in their movies, specifically burying them for hardcore fans to find. Now this one is a relatively minor link, but a link nonetheless. During the finale of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2, Mary Jane is seen running through the park in her wedding dress, during which time a creepy dude turns slowly to look at her. This is actually The Punisher. Now legally they couldn't say it was The Punisher or invite the actor who played The Punisher to make an appearance, so instead they used his stunt double. Pretty cool regardless. Looks just like him. Coming in at number 9, Tangled and Frozen. Both Tangled and Frozen were mega Disney hits, massively gaining popularity among children and Disney fans alike. However, many fans had no idea that the movies are actually connected. In one scene in Frozen, during Elsa's coronation, you can see in the background both Rapunzel and Flynn wandering around the inside of the castle, as well as when Anna sings For the First Time in Forever, you can see the couple walking through the crowd. Here's hoping for a shared princess universe in the future, potentially on Disney+, you never know. I'm rooting for it. In at number 8, The Evil Dead and Jason Goes to Hell. Now, Jason Goes to Hell was by no means a good movie. However, it crossed over with arguably one of the greatest movies of all time, The Evil Dead. So that gives it major bonus points. In Jason Goes to Hell, there is a scene which features the legendary grimoire the Necronomicon, which exists within the Evil Dead universe. Now, the concept of the Necronomicon was originally created by H.P. Lovecraft himself, and was used by various other authors after he gave his blessing. What a guy. Making the evil book a shared universe icon. At the end of Jason Goes to Hell, Freddy Krueger's gloved hand grabs at Jason's mask before the credits roll, aka a precursor to Freddy vs. Jason. Another crossover. There was also talk of a film sequel which would feature Ash, the lead character in The Evil Dead, battling the two baddies, but sadly, it never occurred. At least not on screen. There was, however, a comic book titled Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash, The Nightmare Warriors. I highly suggest you read it, it's fantastic. Coming in at number 7, The Lion King and Hercules. In Hercules, we saw the demigod posing for a painting. He held a sword and a shield while sporting a lion's pelt as an artist immortalized him. However, after a discussion with his hero trainer, he becomes upset and tosses the lion pelt onto the ground. However, taking a closer look, it becomes clear that the lion pelt is that of Scar from The Lion King. This is bittersweet. 1, because I don't believe in cruelty towards animals, but 2, Scar was an asshole and we all know it. He deserved to die. I would wear Scar. In at 6, American Psycho and the Rules of Attraction. Any fan of these two movies would have picked up on the fact that the American Psycho character Patrick Bateman and the Rules of Attraction lead Sean Bateman share the same name, and that is because they are both brothers. The movies were actually adapted from Bret Easton Ellis's novel of the same title. Patrick Bateman is of course a serial killer while Sean is a suicidal drug dealer. Basically the worst kind of shared universe siblings ever. Christian Bale was actually asked to do a cameo scene for Rules of Attraction. Unfortunately, he declined. In at number 5, From Dusk Till Dawn and Kill Bill. Quentin Tarantino is yet another director that loves to share universes, and this is what went down in Kill Bill Volume 1. As we know, Michael Parks plays Texas Ranger Earl McGraw in From Dusk Till Dawn, which is directed by Robert Rodriguez, a director who frequently works with Tarantino. He also appeared in Kill Bill Volume 2, which is directed by Tarantino. Now, while Earl McGraw was shot dead in From Dusk Till Dawn, he still arrived at the murder scene of the bride's wedding in Volume 1 of Kill Bill. Not just that, he also appeared yet again in Planet Terror and Death Proof. Yet 2 more Rodriguez and Tarantino crossovers, and arguably my favourite, Death Proof is the best. Coming in at number 4, Spy Kids and Machete. Yep, bizarre, I know. Now, director Robert Rodriguez surprised everyone when he released Spy Kids back in 2001, a film which focused entirely on kids training to become spies. Now, during the film, the kids pay their uncle a visit, who serves as their reluctant mentor. But who exactly is their uncle? Uncle Machete. In 2007, a movie about Machete was featured as a fake trailer for the Grindhouse movie, one of which was directed by Rodriguez, which would eventually become a reality in 2010. The story was about an angry former federal agent who goes on a quest for revenge, aka Uncle Machete from Spy Kids. Cool. Coming in at 3, Unbreakable and Split. Thanks to the movie Glass. This point is of course an obvious one, but let's instead traverse back to Split. Director M. Night Shyamalan has never been known for sequels. Instead, he loves to make connections between his movies, specifically Unbreakable and Split. Unbreakable stars Bruce Willis as David Dunn, a security officer who discovers he's pretty much invincible. On the other hand, we have Split, which features a mentally ill man named Kevin Wendell Crumb, played by James McAvoy, who wrestles with 24 personalities including the Beast, an evil entity with incredible strength and can crawl on walls. The Beast survives to the end and is let loose on the general public. One of the seated customers watching the broadcast of the news? David Dunn. In at 2, Prometheus and Blade Runner. Back in the day, folks were very excited when it was announced that Ridley Scott was returning to the Alien series with Prometheus, a movie exploring the origins of the engineers glimpsed at in the original movie. Now, although most folks hated Prometheus, I personally enjoyed it. Let the hate comments commence. The movie introduced us to Peter Weyland, the founder of Weyland Corps. Now, Peter has a god complex and is determined to meet the race of creatures who created humanity so they can in turn grant him more life. Few people may think this story arc sounds familiar, and that's because it is familiar. Sounds a whole lot like Roy Batty from Blade Runner, who also seeks out his creator Tyrell in hopes of gaining more life. Now, many fans had previously speculated that Alien and Blade Runner were set in the same universe, and with Prometheus, Ridley Scott sealed that deal. This was confirmed upon release of the Blu-ray edition of Prometheus, which contained an Easter egg confirming Weyland and Tyrell were once friends and competitors. Pretty damn cool. I also have Prometheus on Blu-ray and I have no regrets. Come for me. Finally coming in at number 1, Slither and the Guardians of the Galaxy. When James Gunn came along to direct Guardians of the Galaxy, it was quite a shock considering his earlier movies were quite dark and gory. However, he injected his own personality into it and it well and truly paid off. He also paid respects to his first movie Slither in the Guardians movie. As most will know, Slither revolved around a small town being infested by slimy alien slugs who take people over by entering their mouths. Gunn tied this to the MCU a little by giving the slugs a cameo in Guardians. During the scene where the characters meet the Collector, a few of the slugs can be seen in a display case in the background. Pretty damn cool. Well, there we have it. Do you guys agree with our list? Were there any movies that we missed? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below and perhaps we can do a part 2. Before I go though, I just want to respond to a few comments from one of our last videos. Top 10 shocking South Park episodes that took things too far. Michael Ross said, give us a part 2, Lucy McPhee. Well, Michael, I'm not sure. This list triggered a lot of you, and I mean a lot. But you guys do seem to be liking it, so maybe. I haven't decided yet. David C. Cronk Sr. said, Lucy not only smiled, she laughed. Good on you. I mean, it was a challenge, David, but I made it through. God bless. God bless us all. Zappy said, okay boomer. Whoa. I've never been more offended in my whole entire life. Also, I only just realized what okay boomer means, and now I get it. Also, I'm not a boomer. Aren't I a zoomer? How old do you think I am? Unless that's the insult. And on that note, if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another Beyond the Screen vid. And until next time, see you later.